Here's Brody Brazil.
So yeah, I'm 40 years old, which has been that way now for 5 months. It still hasn't sunk in a brand new decade like I'm actually here now. But there's been another thing that's been on my mind recently, and that is, what if I could go back to 20 years old? What would be some things I would tell that guy? Yeah, look at me at the anchor desk of our college newscast, Update News at San Jose State University. Nice suit, buddy. Who tied that tie, by the way? Is that a clip-on? No, of course it actually was not, but not good. Anyway, what would I tell myself if I could go back to those times? Before I give myself that advice, can I ask you for a favor? Since you're here, if you like this channel, if you like this content, if you want to see more of it, the sports stuff, or now even the life stuff, subscribe. It's all you have to do. It's free. It's hopefully pretty easy. It's going to help me grow this platform for you and I. Also, if you like this video by the end, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that it can be recommended to others here on YouTube. Okay, if I could go back to 20, one thing I would tell myself, don't stress over all the things. Like at 20, you have so much life ahead of you, but you have so many things to establish, so many decisions to make, so many situations to overcome, whether it's career, dating, living situations. Like, you may stress out about all these things. And I'm not here to say that I necessarily did about any one or all of those to an extreme amount, but let's be honest, you're a young person. You see everybody else moving forward with things, and you want to get your career on track, and maybe you want to find yourself a partner to be with, and maybe you want to figure out when and where and how you can move out of your parents' house and how to do that, how to pay for it, your job, how it all like fits together. All these things, they literally are intertwined, but you might be young, you might be stressed out. I'm here to tell you that all of these things, they happen for you. They happen when you least expect it, and they also happen very quick. You at 20 years old, I guarantee if you're questioning how these things are going to work out for you, you're also going to find yourself later in life saying, how did all that just happen so fast? How am I married? How is this my child in the house that I live in? Like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, however many things are on your mind. And there may be other things like this that people stress over, but they all happen. They all fall into place, I found pretty quick. I've given this advice to others. I would give it to myself back again at 20 years old. And again, if you're 20, like, go live your life a little bit before you let these things stress you out. I don't even care if you're 35 and you're stressed out about these things. They will happen. They will happen fast. Here's another piece of advice I would tell my 20-year-old self. You're likely not going to keep all of your current friends at this age. And at 20, maybe you're in college now, or maybe you're on to kind of like a second life, but hopefully you found out through high school and graduating and likely moving on, potentially changing locations of where you spend your life, where you live, your everyday, but you're going to cycle through probably a whole different group of people from your childhood to your high school days, to your college days, and then maybe even into your professional life. And I'm not here to tell you you're going to lose all your friends, treat them all like garbage. That's not the case. You can have some that last forever. Your very first friend that you ever met, you can keep them forever. Friends you made in high school, college, like, you should keep them. You should pick and choose. Be picky about the ones you keep. But I am here to tell you, all the people you don't vibe with, and all the circles you don't fit in, and all the things that you weren't a part of, and on the outside looking in, and I get it, like, young people are kind of cliquey in that way. Don't worry about any of that stuff, because you're not going to know most of the people that you know right now at age 20. It's going to happen, trust me. Just like when you were 17 and high school was very important, same thing in college. You're probably going to change schools, locations, and jobs several times over until you really settle in life. Now again, I'm not saying dismiss everybody, and I'm not saying forget everybody. I'm just saying don't stress out about the fact that if you don't like your exact situation, it's going to recycle itself again. But keep the friends that you actually want to keep into your next stage of life. Okay, how about this as thing number 3 I would tell my 20-year-old self? Let's hope you didn't peak yet. Doesn't it seem like some young people, and when you're there, it's more obvious, it's more prevalent. Some people, it looks like they've done everything. They're on the right track. They're going to be a scientist, a lawyer, a professional athlete. Like that's the golden kid right there. They're onto something. They've done it all already. Do you really want to be that person? Trust me, you don't. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And it is true that by age 20, some of your friends, they've already run their entire race. It's not to say they're not going to have a great life and all that stuff, but you, if you have not peaked yet, that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. You don't want to be considering peaking in your life until well past college, if that makes sense. What do I even mean by peaking? What do I mean by success? I don't know. That's up to you. But you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't measure yourself to other people and the high points that they've reached that you haven't found yet. It's a great thing if you have not hit your peak yet. All right, I think this is 4 out of 5. Paying dues versus getting experience. Now, a lot of young people are in situations and they're fortunate enough to be able to explore a career, something in life that they just want to try. Now, they're not going to get handsomely rewarded for it. Some people, they're young, they go right into something that makes them a ton of money, and they may like it, they may not like it. They may just do it for the money. I'm here to say if you're exploring a career, like I did in television, there is a fine line between paying your dues, working for free, being an intern, getting paid a minimal amount if you can swing it. And yes, I do realize you're extremely fortunate if you can swing that. But there is that fine line of like, should I try something I love and sacrifice a little bit, of it? And should I get that great experience? Should I get my foot in the door? Or should I just go do something that instantly pays me money right away? It's a fine line. I'm not here to tell you one way or the other, because if you can have instant success and you're okay with what you're doing, great. Congratulations. Like that's awesome. But there is something to be said that if you're young and you're pursuing a passion, don't settle for less. Like don't get taken advantage of, but realize what and where you can take advantages, right? Let's say you do a summer internship, and I keep using media stuff because that's my background, but I don't know, let's say you do a summer internship at a law firm. Do they do that? I don't even know. I'm not even sure if that's allowed or legal, but let's use that. You want to be a lawyer. Use that experience. So what? You get paid minimum wage, or I'm also not for the fact that you're going to live that way forever or that you should expect that forever. But if you're getting compensated and it's enough for you and the experience and what you're getting out of it is enough, great. Take advantage of that to a certain point. Don't get taken advantage of, but use it for all that it's worth. So if you can swing it, and if you're up for it, go ahead, pay your dues a little bit and also get that experience. But hey, if you're not in that situation, you just need to go with whatever works immediately. I understand that too. Last piece of advice here, find a few role models and learn from them all, not just learn from one. I think it's a common mistake of young people to pick out that one person. I want to be like them. You realize those people that you may not even know, you literally don't know them. You don't know what they're all about. You don't know how they got there. You don't know how they operate, how they treat people. I'm saying you actually have to know somebody, like physical role models. I honestly don't think an influencer is the best role model for you. And we didn't necessarily have that in the same way that a 20-year-old would here in 2021. But it is important to have a group of people that you admire, and you shouldn't copy anybody. Like I said, none of them are perfect. So don't be identical to one single person. Pick a group of people. Take the best of what each of them do and then impart that into what you're all about. And what do I even mean by this? Is this a career thing? Is this just who you are? How you approach your friends, life situations? Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. But pick a group of role models, figure out what they do best, figure out how you can make that your own. Again, you don't want to be a duplicate of one person. I guess it's impossible to be a duplicate of all of them at the same time, but that's what you're aiming to be. You're aiming to be all of their best people. Use that for yourself. Now, where do you find these role models? That's up to you. And going back to the prior statement on, if you can work your way into something, if you can grind your way into something, if you can, find people who have had that experience, they've been there, done that, and what you want to do, they are priceless. I realize looking at YouTube videos and learning that way is fun, but physical people, watching them go through things in real life, in real time, that is priceless. So those are 5 things I would tell myself if I could go back to age 20. I don't know how many people stuck through this entire video. I guess some of that was deep. I hope most of it made sense. And hopefully, if even one thing helps one of you, then it was totally worth my time.